Hello crafty friends, welcome to another background busting video. Today I've got 6 backgrounds. I think I made these during my 22 ways to smush video, which I will link down in this video's description. And I used peacock feathers and wilted violet for these. This one actually was made with sprays in my pigment powders video, so I'll link that down below as well. But what I thought I'd do today was create some aperture cards using these to back my apertures. I've cut 6 panels of hammered textured white cardstock, and they should be the same size as my card blanks. So these are going to cover the whole of the front of the card. For the first 3 cards, I've got some Aperture dies. These are dies that are specifically designed to cut a pretty aperture in the front of your card panel. I'm going to hold that in place where I want it with some low tack tape and run that through my die cutting machine. I've got another one here, not sure where I got that one from, but this is a Sizzix one. So this is going to cut in the top right hand corner. This one's got to cut an aperture in the bottom left. This one would pretty much go anywhere you like really. It cuts some wonky holes. I might just pop it along the top there. For this card, I'm going to use this multi-flower die. Now this isn't an aperture die as such. It's just meant to make lots of little flowers for you, but it will indeed make apertures in your card panel. So I think I shall put that roughly in the middle. For this card, I'm going to do some individual dies. So I think we'll pop this hexagon about 1/3 of the way up and 1/3 of the way in. And then I've got some other hexagon dies that can go alongside it. I've tried to line them up so that the horizontal edges of my dies are parallel with one another. But if they're a bit wonky, that's okay because it's a handmade card. And lastly, I've got some balloon dies. Let's see, on a pleasing arrangement off to the side like that, I think. So these will cut balloon shaped holes in the front of my card. So you don't need fancy dies, aperture dies to create apertures. You can use individual dies or dies that are designed for a different purpose. So I'm going to run all these through my die cutting machine and then come back to you. Top tip, if you've got scratches or cut marks in your cutting plates, put a bit of copy paper between the cutting plate and the front of your panel. That way you'll remove the risk of embossing the cut lines into the card front. Also, if some areas don't cut particularly well, just add a cardboard shim to your sandwich and that will just increase the pressure ever so slightly and hopefully you'll get a nice clean cut. I find a really quick way of getting all the little bits out of your panel is just to give your card a good flick and then any remaining bits can be poked out. If something hasn't cut through properly, just ever so gently, you could peel it away, but peel it towards the back. So if there are any tears, they'll end up not visible. This one is a little bit stubborn, so I'm just going to snip it and you'd never know. Also, if something does break or tear, don't worry about it. You will probably end up disguising it behind something or hiding it behind something. So this bit has broken because I was a bit rough, but I'm going to put an image there, a focal image or maybe the sentiment, and it'll be fine. And don't throw away the bits that you remove when you do your aperture. They could come in useful for another card. If you think your washi tape or your low tack tape is going to tear your paper, just give it a bit of a heat with a heat tool or a hairdryer and that will soften the adhesive and make it easier to remove. Right, now we've got our apertures which can go on top of our pretty backgrounds. Now if you want to create a bit of depth, you can add some foam to the back of your panel and then stick it down. But if you want something that's going to be a bit more mailable, i.e. not too thick to go through the postal system, then you can just stick it down like that. So for my balloon card, I want my balloons to be a bit glossy. So I've got some contact paper here. It's just clear sticky back plastic, and I'm going to place that over where the balloons are going to be and just carefully press that down with my ruler so I don't get any wrinkles. I'm going to add some tape runner around the balloons to make sure that they stick well to that contact paper, because glue doesn't always stick well to plastic like that. I'm also going to add some high-tech PVA just to make sure that everything is stuck down really well. I'm going to pop some non-stick paper over that and press it down, and I'll trim off the overhang so that it's flush. I'm happy with that. I think it looks good. And that can now go straight on a card blank. And I'll think about embellishments in a minute. Right, before I put this behind my aperture, I'm going to jazz it up a little bit with some heat embossing. So I dust it with my anti-static powder tool, also known as an old sock with some talcum powder inside. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and this is a musical school stamp, sheet music. Just put that on there and hopefully get a fairly decent impression. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's just kind of background, visual texture and shimmer and shine. And now I'm going to dip it in some gold embossing powder. There we go. So that can go on there like that. I do want to try and get it on straight. What I'm going to do with this one is put some glue all the way over it like that. And then pop some glue on my mat, pick it up with my sponge dauber and sponge it onto these thin bits here. So hopefully they'll stick down. So I'm going to trim off the overhang, but I will use that cut off bit there to scaffold that bit there. So that looks good on the front of the card. Now I'm going to do the hexagon one, but I'm going to use this trail pattern to emboss this bit of card. So it's very subtle, but it's there. And I'm just going to put glue on the back of this. For this card, there's not going to be an awful lot of the background peeking through, but I thought I would put some splatter on it. So I've got this pale gold metallic paint. This palette is a combination of two palettes. It's the Prima Metallic Accents original palette with some of the pastel palette paints as well. So just lots of little spatters of gold in this area here. If you didn't want to use the whole of your background behind your aperture, you could always slice it in half and then add another bit of blank card to support the panel on the front. But I'm really trying to bust my backgrounds this month, so I can always make more of these if I want. So I'll dry that with my hairdryer. And again, I'm going to put some glue on the back, and I'm going to use my sponge dauber just to put some glue on this bit here. All right, I'm liking that, very pretty. Now for this one, I'm going to put straight on, but I do have other plans for it. So for this, I'm going to die cut out some vellum flowers using the same die. So there are my vellum flowers. I've just popped it on some brown paper so you can see them. And I'm going to add a spot of glue. This is matte gel medium to just a few. I'm not going to do all of them. And I'm going to pop the flowers kind of offset a little, I think. So I've stuck my vellum flowers down now, and I've put a few outside of the aperture area, and for my centres, just going to give them a little dab of pale gold Nouveau drops. The glue and the Nuvo drops will make the vellum curl a bit, but the vellum will flatten out once it dries. And it doesn't really matter for something like this. If it does curl, it just gives the petals more of a petally look. So I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to have to put that somewhere where I'm not going to stick my finger in it. So I'm thinking on this background, I want to do a bit of stenciling. So I'm going to tape my paper to my stencil so it doesn't shift about. And then I'm going to take some Nuvo Crystal Glaze. You could use glossy accents for this, or some kind of transparent texture paste. Pick it up, and then I really only need to go down like this. And the idea is that this will hopefully go through, and once it's dry I can put some ink on top and the crystal glaze will resist the ink and you'll still see the shimmery spritzy colour behind. I want that to dry fairly quickly, so I'm going to blast it with my hairdryer. I've got some salvage patina here and I'm going to gently ink over this background. Then give it a buff. There you can see the text and the shimmer and shine of the pigment powder sprays is still showing through. So it's just added a little bit of texture. I might bring in some wilted violet. Not too much, just a little bit for variation. And again, just give that a bit of a buff. Same gluing principle with this one. Just want to make sure the text is relatively straight. Right, that's 6 cards ready for a bit of embellishing and a sentiment. So I'm going to do a bit of die cutting, then I'll come back and show you the finished cards. Right, I'm back. And this is card number 1, all finished. Kept it really simple. Just used a gold gel pen to draw a string and a knot at the bottom of each balloon. And then I used this Proud of You cutout die to cut out the sentiment from white cardstock and backed it with a strip of matte gold cardstock. You could jazz it up with some splatters, some Nuvo drops. This would make a nice shaker card, I think, if you put a bit of acetate in the balloon windows and some shaker bits. For card number 2, I used this branch die to die cut out a white branch, which I layered on top. Could have coloured it slightly, might have stood out well, but I like the texture there. And then I die cut out a gold Celebrate and its shadow in vellum and stuck that about a third of the way up the card towards the left. Again, you could jazz that up with some spatters and drops, enamel dots, that kind of thing. Card number 3, I die cut a hexagon out of vellum using the same hexagon that I'd used for the large aperture. I then die cut a bee out of gold cardstock again and stuck that on. I didn't do any paper piecing with that one. I felt the bee would be fine as is, just gold sitting on that colourful background there. And then I used another cutout die and backed that with gold as well. Again, this could be jazzed up, maybe some gold foil hexagons could be dotted around. For card number 4, I wasn't sure that I liked it when I finished it, but having looked at it the next day, I think I do like it. All I did was die cut out a happy birthday using this die, stuck it over that area, and then added some gold glitter Nuvo drops for a bit of energy and extra sparkle and shine. And I also filled in a few of the apertures there with some crystal glaze. For card number 5, I just put a gold foil thanks right across the middle there. I think that works. It sits in that diagonal that's going on there and pops against the colours. And for this last card, I used this die to die cut my foliage from matte gold cardstock. I then popped that about a third of the way down and a third of the way in on that intersection there. Added a happy birthday and then a few gold glitter drops, and that was that. And there you have 6 cards, 6 apertures created, 6 backgrounds busted. I really like the way these have turned out. I might add a bit of something to that one, give it a little bit more energy. I do hope you've enjoyed today's video and it's given you some ideas of things you can do with the dies and the backgrounds that you've got sitting around your craft room. If it has, please do let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and I'll see you back here very soon for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.